name is Uma Chandrasekhar and this is my first video series. I am exploring the topic of deliberation, the essence of executive leadership. Here, I am bringing the salient features of deliberate decision making, which is rational and data driven. Welcome to episode 23. Let me start with the recap as ever. In the episode 19 of this series, I introduced the 5 different types of decision-making models used by Silicon Valley executives while arriving at deliberate decisions, with examples for each of the types in the episodes 20 and 21. In the next episode, which is episode 22, I discussed 2 other process models, the 3-talk model of decision-making and the 3-way decision-making model. With that, I think I have covered enough grounds in exploring the topic of shared decision making. And so, in this episode 23, I am planning to start with the benefits and challenges in shared decision making. Nonetheless, before I do so, I want to share an important message about the speed of my talks. If you find me speeding in some parts of the vlogs, I might be trying to save time to hold on to the time limits of the video. Hence, if you missed some words or parts due to my pace, try a lesser playback speed so you might gather the word or the sentence which you did not hear in the first time. So let me summarize the shared decision-making model with the following benefits. The shared model is a combination of cognition, emotions, and relations with collaboration and deliberation as key concepts. Let me get you the keynote slide and share it with you. The whole process of making decisions is distributed in time and place among the decision-making group and promotes power symmetry and autonomy. The name shared decision making highlights the sharing of thoughts, feelings, priorities, and preferences among the decision makers, thus emphasizing the foundational aspects of the process. Now for the challenges in the decision making. Besides its benefits, the shared decision making process is not defined as a practical approach by many medics, technical leaders, and decision makers in other fields as well. Some of the reasons stated by them are lack of time, lack of information, poor work fit for workflow, as delay in one decision might interrupt many other decisions in the pipeline, etc. In my opinion, if you ask me, the most difficult challenge of them all is the mindset of the people who need to make the shared decisions, as they are educated and experienced in their field of work and think that they are good enough to make the decisions on their own. Hence, their pride and ego do not let them collaborate on the decision-making process, as many of those think that asking for help from other executives is a sign of incompetency. So, in the case of medics, the idea of involving patients is a change of mindset too, as many physicians think that patients do not qualify to make treatment decisions, as they do not have enough medical education to understand the pros and cons of the treatment offered. The same can be said about organizational decisions, where shared decisions are to be made. The amount of importance given to everyone on the table depends on the type of the organization, and it is the responsibility of the designated expert to make sure that a responsible, favorable, and convincing decision was made with a key focus on collaboration, deliberation, and communication. Now that I have listed the challenges, let me give you a solution to overcome the challenges too. In order to overcome the drawbacks of the shared decision making in organizations, an emphasis is made on deliberate practice to acquire and improve the process of decision making. The analysis of expert decision makers has provided a number of distinct evidences on potential of the individuals involved in the process of decision making and the limits of their extreme environmental adaptation and learning. This is the secret behind decision making under severe duress. I'll be discussing this topic in detail in the next episode. I think you might remember I mentioned the pride and ego of the decision makers as a challenge in the previous paragraph, and hence, while referring to this topic of deliberate practice as a methodology to improve the performance of decision makers, the psychosocial theories are brought into play. The most widely accepted and influential theories of psychosocial development is Erik Erickson's theory of development. Before I start discussing the Erik Erickson's 8 stages of development, let me clarify an important aspect on that topic. Though Erik Erickson's stages of development is similar to Sigmund Freud's stages of development, the difference is that Freud's work was on psychosocial development and not on psychosexual development and not on psychosocial development, as deliberate social interactions from an extremely young age impacts the decision-making performance at later ages, and this is highly significant from many successful decision makers, as many of them are extremely good at social interactions since childhood. Oops, time's up. Let's stop here and I'll come back in the next video of the same episode 23 to explore Erik Erickson's stages of psychosocial development. See you in the next video. Hi everyone, I am Uma Chandrasekhar and this is the second vlog of the episode 23, where I am planning to explain the 8 stages of Erik Erickson's psychosocial development. Let me share the keynote slide for anyone who needs visual cues. See, the stages start at the top at infancy and it goes clockwise. So let me first start with stage 1, the stage of trust versus mistrust. The stage of social experience is referred as infancy and the age group is from birth to 18 months. During these years of instincts, the trust grows slowly. The babies learn to use their 5 senses to improve their social interactions. They start to see and smile at familiar faces, hear to parents' voices, smell their mother's bosom, start to reach at people and things, to feel and go on to taste other foods than mother's milk. This is the stage which sees the development of hope in the child's mind as the babies hope to learn and grow further. The stage 2 is the stage of autonomy versus shame and doubt, and it is the early childhood. It is from 18 months to 36 months. At this stage, the babies grow into children, and through their social interactions, they are led away from their mother's arms into the next level of closed environment called family. The family includes a small group of people who have been in touch with the child since birth, and their level of social interactions in this small group increases. At this stage, they learn the importance of autonomy, privacy, shame, and doubt through simple actions such as learning to use the potty or the toilets. At the stage of social development, their power of will and strength improves, and some kids learn to be stubborn and throw tantrums too. The stage 3 is the stage of initiative versus guilt, and it is ideally 3 to 5 years, or otherwise known as preschool stage, so known as the stage of purpose. Most kids learn to dress up in costumes of their favorite profession and call themselves as nurse, teacher, doctor, astronaut, etc. And they learn to care and protect. Also, kids play mommy and daddy as they explore their genders to identify themselves as boy or girl. This stage is when the kids try to take initiative to do an activity on their own without persuasion, and they feel responsible for their actions and experience emotions such as guilt and sorrow while playing. Stage 4 is the stage of industry versus inferiority, and it refers to kids in primary school in the age group of 6 to 10 or possibly 11 years. At this stage, the children grow confident in their social interactions. Their friends circle grows and they learn to work harder and to pursue their purpose. They join a sports club as their physical growth is at the lightning speed, and so is their physical and mental strength. They also learn to identify similarities and differences, and for the same reason, bullying is extensive as many kids from groups based on similarities and differences, and the harsh truth of being inferior to a group or an individual becomes blatantly visible. Stage 5 is the stage of adolescence. Kids in the age group of 12 to 18 primarily occupy this stage. Kids at this stage are at their best with respect to social relationships, as this is the time of puberty and also signified by identity crisis, sexuality problems, and confusing personalities. As kids in this age group are constantly subject to peer pressure with respect to their sexual relationships, career goals, and other behavioral aspects. At the end of the stage, many would have successfully and safely experimented social relationships with respect to intimate partnership, as they would have practiced honesty or would have taken oath to practice fidelity in the later years of intimate relationships. Stage 6 is the stage of young adulthood. 19 to 40 is the age of this group of people. In this group, the young adults probe their life in all aspects. At this stage, the social relationships reduce as the higher education, work and career fill the time, and many think that social relationships are a luxury. Nonetheless, surprisingly though, this is the age group when the majority of individuals enter into marital relationships, which is the most personal of the social relationships, through seeking love and marital intimacy, and hence here both intimacy and isolation is experienced by many individuals simultaneously. Stage 7 refers to middle age. This stage is signified by stagnation, as most individuals experience a lull in their social and personal relationships, both at work and at home, as they explore parenthood and growth as couples. The age range is 40 to 65, and this is also the time period of career excellence. Thus, the focus is twofold, personal and professional, and the successful people come out of this group as caring managers and great parents. Stage 8 is the mature age. The 8th stage is the last stage of social relationships, either due to old age or ceased existence. People in this age group, 65 or above, are OAPs, and take time to reflect on their life to check their social and personal relationship as a test for happy life or life in despair. This age group reflects wisdom and regret based on the life led by the individual, as wisdom leads to happiness and regret leads to despair. A sense of peace and integrity is set in those individuals who lead a successful life with wisdom, as they ready themselves for the next part of their life's journey, while those individuals who feel unsuccessful may experience a sense of regret, despair, and bitterness as they wait to move on. This brings us to the end of 8 stages of Erik Erickson's psychosocial stages of development, and the end of the vlog 2 and also the video episode 23. I will come back in the next episode, which is episode 24 of the video series of this video series titled Deliberation, the Essence of Executive Leadership, to discuss the role of adaptation and practice in deliberate decisions. If you have viewed my video this far, you deserve a thank you.